the next few days, you are going to work on this activity. So it's about indirect measurement. I'm going to do the first several with you. They're just like some introductory items and examples. So indirect measurement is when you use similar triangles to find unknown lengths of distances indirectly. So basically, you are going to use math instead of grabbing a ruler and trying to measure something 300 feet tall. Like, obviously, that's not going to work. So we're just going to use math to figure it out. And then I just put, remember, lengths of corresponding sides of similar triangles are proportional. And if you forget, that is where we were like checking out the sides. And maybe we had like 2/4, which was a half. And then the other one would be 3/6, which is a half. So remember, proportional just means these are matching. And we also talked about how it meant like one of the triangles was 2 times bigger than the other. Like this was half as big as this guy. So how does it work? There are 2 methods that typically you use. So the first method is when you're standing and you have a mirror on the ground and you're looking into the mirror. The second one is when you're standing and you have a shadow of a certain length and you're so tall. But basically the process for both is going to be the exact same. So I'm going to show you both ways. Both times you're going to draw and label a picture. You're going to convert all the measurements to the smaller unit if you have to. And then you're going to set up a proportion and solve. And then we're typically going to convert back to feet. So this is important. So for me, your answers are all going to be in feet. All right, so here's the first example. So if you're using a mirror, this is what your picture would look like. So you would have to draw out this little picture. Your pictures do not have to be, great. I just need little stick people, the triangles, etc. These are both right triangles, if you notice. And so if I read it to you, it says Jennifer is 5 feet 2 inches tall. So I'm going to label her 5 feet 2 inches. She is standing 4 feet from a mirror. The mirror is 6 feet from the wall. When looking in the mirror, Jennifer can see the picture frame hanging on the wall. How high is the picture frame? So it's saying how tall is this side over here? So pretty easy to follow along with the reading and the label. And then basically you're following the process I talked about before, which is up here. So draw and label a picture, that's done. Convert all measurements to the smaller unit. So the smaller unit is inches. In case you forget, there's 12 inches in 1 foot. So we need to convert everything to inches. So if I want to convert her height, I take 5 times 12. That's 60. And then there's 2 inches, so I need to add on those 2. So she is 62 inches tall. I will label that in red right here. 62 inches. I need to convert this 4 feet down here, so 4 times 12. 48 inches. I need to convert this 6 feet, so 6 times 12 is 72 inches. Okay, so everything is in the smaller unit, and then you're going to just set up your proportion. So I'm going to do that over here. I'm going to put 62 inches over 48 inches. So I put the entire left triangle here, and then that would be the same as I started with her height, so I have to start with this height. So x over 72 inches. Once you get that set up, you're just going to cross multiply and divide. So 62 times 72 is 4,464. 48 times x is 48x. And then divide both sides by 48. So x would be 93. Now, think logically. This picture's probably not 93 feet off the ground. That's because we're still in inches. So last step, turn it back into feet. So divide by 12. and it's 7.75 feet. All right, so here's the second type. So example 2 is if you are using shadow length. So again, I already drew out the pictures for you. We still have Jennifer over here. Jennifer is 5 feet 2 inches tall. She casts a shadow that is 10 feet 6 inches along the ground. So 10 feet 6 inches. Over here, she sees the squirrel up at the top of the tree. The tree casts a shadow that's 20 feet along the ground. How tall is the tree? So same exact process. We are going to convert to inches first. So right here, we actually already know her height from the last time. We figured out that she was 62 inches tall. So we can just reuse that instead of doing work again. Down here, her 10 foot 6 inch shadow, 10 times 12 is 120, plus those 6 inches, 126. So down here, this is really 126 inches. Over here, I have 20 feet, need to convert that to inches, so 20 times 12, that's 240 inches. So I'll just relabel this. Once everything is in the same unit, you're good to set up your proportions. So I'm going to do Jennifer's height over her shadow equals tree height over the tree shadow. Cross multiply. So 62 times 240 is 14,880. 126 times x. Divide both sides by 126. And when you do that, you get 118.095, so we'll just put 0.1. This is still in inches. To get it back to feet, you're going to divide by 12. And so we end up figuring out that this tree is 9.8 feet tall. So then what's going to happen next is there are several of these problems that you're going to do. So basically, it just says we're going on a class trip. We're going to see some sites, and we're going to practice indirect measurement. You have to show all of your work. So just like I did in the examples is what I would want to see. Make sure it's organized by stop number. So you should have like stop number 1, all the work. Stop number 2, the work. Don't forget to show your units, and then make sure you round to the nearest tenth. When you get through all the stops, when you're completely done, there's a Google form where you will put all your answers. Your answers should just be like 4.2 feet. And when you type it in, you're just typing in 4.2. Nothing else, just the number. It says that very plainly in the form just in case you forget. But that's just how it works. Another thing I want to mention, not this example. Okay, on this example, so stop number 3. Everything is completely in feet. 19 feet tall, 66.5 feet, 3 feet. There is no conversion needed here. So if everything is in feet, you don't need to convert. The only time you have to convert is if it says the word inches.